This is not new. This is something that we've been discussing for years. Do you need to talk about it?
I asked Alicia just to be clear because she said that we were going to be in the negative for 2016. The $1 per 1,000 gallons is basically going to cause us to break even, and that's not considering any of the maintenance that needs to be done on the sewer plant or anything. This is just to get us to break even right now before any of these projects go underway. So that does not include those expected expenditures. That's just what we need to break even on sewer. And we didn't factor that in because we don't know a dollar amount. You can't really plan on something until we get some figures nailed down. There's no way to plan.
I have a feeling that once Matt gets some numbers together, you guys are going to be doing some looking at rates before you can apply to GFA, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, the GFA shouldn't be as bad. The USDA is going to be the more critical one, but because USDA the GFA will be somewhat limited with developer paying half the cost and getting some grant funds, but the USDA is going to be the real majority of the loan.
And I think Alicia's numbers show it's not quite breaking even. I think we had those from several months ago, but we've had growth in the last few months. And if you take all the way through the end of October's usage and you prorate that into 12 months, we're probably actually going to be just about $1,000 above budget. So not allowing much leeway.
Well, James just spent it.
It's an increase to just help us break even before we start these projects. We don't want to start those in hurry because right now that's where we're at.
And we've been
there for a while. Water's carrying sewer and it shouldn't be that way.
What is it going to say? What's the?
Well, it's $1 per 1,000 gallons. So if your home uses 2,000 gallons a month, you're going to see a $2 difference.
What's the average gallons that that's used?
Residential is anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 gallons, depending on how many people are in the home. So you're looking at $3 to $5. Yeah. So if you use 5,000 gallons, your increase on sewer is going to be $5.
Okay.
But I think it's very necessary, and I'd like to see it start with the January billing. That way we can start it right off the bat at the first of the year.
And our sewer has been, I mean, the one thing about it, everybody's gotten a deal on their sewer for a long time because it's been under for a good while. And our rates are a lot lower than the other cities and counties around us. We're still lower with a $1 increase. Quite a bit lower. I think it's like $3 lower. Okay, do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we increase the sewer rate $1 per 1,000 gallons.
Do I have a second?
Okay.
All in favor? Okay, Highway Safety Project, Johnny Searcy, Larry Bennett, Ron Shearer, and Scott Cocker.
What's the?
Thank you all for letting us have this time. This only take just a few minutes. We've got 2 projects that we're working on. One of them is highway safety. It's got to do with everything from buckling up, taxing, to road rage. It's just a broad thing of public safety on our highways. Ron Shear, that's here with me tonight, or today, thank you, but he's going to explain a little bit about this to you real quick, because I know we're limited in time. And Ron, you come up here a second. He's going to provide the signs. These are the signs that will be up on our project. We have 2 signs already. It's called Buffalo Projects. We have our signs already at each bridge when you come inside the city limits. This is just to help promote more buckle up safety and also try to reduce the amount of road rage. And Ron's been working on this because I think there's something involved in a wreck with it.
He was.
Could you come explain a little bit of the council?
Well, very briefly, came to Johnny one day and said, what can we do about people tailgating? So I get to town and I get hostile because people are just wanting to run over. I don't know if y'all have this problem, but I find that it's pretty universal. Johnny and I started talking, studied the laws involved. part of our program eventually will be to improve the state law concerning following too close. Right now, what we want to do is start educating the public, make people start thinking twice before they follow too closely and end up in an accident. I think tailgating has risen in the ranks to become one of the highest causes of vehicle accidents. So basically, our intention is to make the road safer. This is a small effort, our first effort. We have a small group of local people, businesses that are offering to help with this effort. It's non-government, it's no tax dollars, it's free to the city. We're just asking permission to put these signs up, and Johnny's in favor of it.
Also, we're working with Chief Bennett down in McKay. This city's doing the same thing. They've got their signs on Highway 5 and Highway 60. Ours is basically on 515, or 75, between 515 that comes through the city. Ours is from bridge to bridge. We have the post commander, GSP, that's with us. Harold's been aware of this project too. So we have a lot of people they're all in favor of helping us out with it. So what we basically come to you today is to just get your permission to go ahead and proceed with public safety.
I think we're going, since it's going to go on the state highway, we're going to have to get the DOT permission.
Yeah,
I know we've run into that before.
yeah, you have to get DOT permission, but you also, and I'm just asking, because I think I did take driver's ed years ago or something. Don't they tell you 10 seconds between cars?
No.
You're supposed to be able to count to 10?
No, actually, the National Safety Council is the group that spearheaded this, started it way back in the 60s.
So I've been counting to 10 all this time for
Okay.
nothing.
Well, what they had,
10 miles per hour.
well, what they had originally was one car length for every 10 miles an hour. So if you're doing 30, then that's supposed to be 3 car lengths. Part of they recognized after a number, and that's what I grew up with. But it wasn't a law, it was just a suggestion. They recognized, the experts recognized that law, or that suggestion was difficult for a lot of people to interpret. If you're doing 58 miles an hour, how far do you stay back? Okay. So somebody came up with the original concept of a 2-second. And the 2-second rule, and we're talking the 3-second rule because they have upgraded this, and now they're suggesting 4 seconds actually because of cell phones. But the rule is, if you're traveling behind another vehicle, when that vehicle passes something stationary on the road, a sign, a line, whatever, you just say 1001, 1002, 1003. Then you should pass that marker. Obviously, if you're going faster, that puts more space between the vehicles. And that's the guideline that they have come up with and now recommend throughout the nation. Most all states have adopted something along this line in their driver's manual. Over half the states have adopted the 3-second rule and more. Some states are 4 to 5 seconds. Georgia driver's manual actually says 2 seconds. But in the driver's ed program, the traffic court you go to, they tell you 3 seconds. There's a lot of differences. We have chosen 3 seconds because that's what the National Safety Council recommends.
Give me 1 second, Ron.
I'll make a motion to allow one more time to do it.
All in favor? And you've got Buckle Up on there also. I think that's great too. Have you thought about no texting? Because I know the governor is supposed to be coming out with a huge no texting campaign, and they say that's one of the biggest issues in accidents now, especially teenage drivers. And
We got that on our list.
yeah.
Let's start on that.
Have you thought about revamping to put it all in one, or is that just too much in one? Do you need a no texting by
That's a lot
itself?
of reading.
Yeah, that's a little
So do you do
bit too
just
much.
a,
Yeah.
We had to start somewhere, and this is what we came up with.
And this actually right here on the road rage part, there's a lot of, what your news of the evening, you have a lot of people that's drive by shooting at the traffic lights and stuff. So, I mean, this is some of the stuff that this is supposed to help you be more aware of. So, and that's what we're trying to promote as a safety hazard.
I'm sure you find a lot of people that disagree with this concept. Some people think that if you don't ride the bumper of the car in front of you, and if you're not courteous, do that kind of stuff, you're not gonna get to work on time, or you're not gonna get home on time. This is an effort to make everybody start thinking about it.
A few minutes earlier.
Well,
No comment.
But we wanted to present this to you, let you know that, and the people, these people are providing all the signs, there's no, we look at the signs ourselves, you know, me and the chief, and we make sure that they all look, you know, very professional, presentable, and they're doing a good job, so, you know.
well, we do have to get permission from the state, and then I guess y'all would get permission from the county in those areas, and the city would approve for the city.
Well, this would be, initially, it would just be within the city limits.
Oh, yeah, ours is just in Orlando.
And actually, I thought we were just asking,
In the city, we can approve it without DOT.
Yeah, well, I mean,
On our roads.
we can approve it.
They're not
Put the
asking
signs up on the-
for that,
on the
though.
state highway till it's every day.
If I can, we'll take those steps after it's approved.
For the
by
cities.
city
Okay.
attorney.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to really work on the no texting. Look at the governor's plan and, because that's what I see. When I see cars, they're texting and doing.
Mayor, the signs that we have down there, what is the type that we can add to what you're talking about?
I mean, just the phone and a slash through it, you know, that tells them they're not supposed to do it.
But that's that part, and the other part that I have to give you just a few minutes. Here. We've been, 30 days, I think, well, actually, we just went over the 30 days about 3 or 4 days ago. We've had a tag rigger on one of our units. Harold's familiar with it, and so is the mayor. They got to see it out here during court one day. This device has been, it's one of the new tools that law enforcement's had to operate with. I knew about it for about 2 years, but they were so high that you couldn't afford them. Well, they've come down, and we got to try one for 30 days. And I can tell you, what it did in 30 days, actually, we still got it today, and like I said, we stopped and made a record of what we've done within the 27, 28 day period. Is that about right? This device, it's got 3 cameras on the tailgate of the unit, and it's got a laptop on the inside. It reads everything from tag, or no insurance, it reads expired registrations, suspended license, it tells you warrants. We drove up to Domestic over there on Jones Street the other night, and the thing hit on somebody that had a warrant on them inside the apartment, so we knew that we could get this. This basically lets us be more aware of the things that slide through our city with the amount of traffic that we have. So, saying that, I just wanted to tell you, and I'm not trying to, just for instance, let you know the costs and then the benefits of this. So far, this machine with the 3 cameras was $21,620. Within 26, 27 days, our court, and the judge even said this, it was going to increase our court about 400%. I can say he's right, because we've already wrote enough citations within 28 days, say 27 days, and they totaled up to $10,090. So I mean, I'm not looking at the cost as much as I'm looking at, we can show you, we can pay for the machine itself, it does it itself, but we're also we're catching things that's been sliding by. We've made 1 drug arrest on it, simple possession arrest, and we've made a lot of, I was shocked in how this thing worked. But Gary, he's run it again today, and Gary will tell you just a little bit about it.
It's run on a database, it's not run through like GCIC or anything like that, and it's updated every 2 weeks, I think. There's over 2 million stolen cars on it, and from every state, even Canada's on it. A lot of the trucks, there's apparently a big boat supply up in Canada, because we get a lot of, says stolen boat parts for some reason on it all the time. much so far, it's been up to date on the expired tags, no insurance has been pretty good on it. The suspended registration, a lot of people don't understand that because we don't write many of those because the state won't let them know. If you've got insurance, you drop insurance, go to another insurance company. If your first insurance company didn't report it, they suspend your tag. It's like a $500 fine, you gotta be fingerprinted, go to jail, everything on it. So we don't write too many of those unless
Well,
there
we
is no
verify
insurance
that
with
they
it.
do have the insurance.
And everything that it runs, we back it up, we run it through dispatch, they run it through GCIC, make sure that it's legit, you know, suspended, whatever. And like, what is there, 30 tickets so far in a month? Just with it, that's not counting the other track stuff that's been done without it.
How much is an insurance ticket, no insurance?
We're Barbie, what, $500?
500?
Is it, the sheriff's department uses this, right?
No.
They're not, they usually have a comparable program, don't they?
The Georgia State Patrol is on the only other.
Maybe they're looking at that too.
Probably.
That could be. Hey, one other question, speaking of safety, about, I guess it's been a year ago, you had said you would get us the
Well, I got.
portable.
Yeah, I
flashing
brought
light
that.
or
You
something.
remember when I was telling you about that, it was more than what we thought was allowed.
Yeah.
And I brought that with me tonight,
Oh, good.
for today. So this time we'll give it to you.
Actually,
You approved something, but it was a little bit more.
Okay, so he's gonna try to get it. Okay, so we made it great, so.
Okay.
Okay, hang on to that, yeah, let's keep that.
Now, is he gonna get that one, or is he gonna get you the GOHS? Because the GOHS thing, so what they do is they bring it out and leave it so long, they'll come back and get it.
Yeah.
well,
And that's why he's over,
It's the trailer one, so it would be the.
yeah, he's over the
At least we could
GOHS
try.
thing now.
yeah, that's his program. So, I mean, that way we know if we.
Yeah, we used it once or twice down here on Main Street, a couple of years ago or so. We put it up in front of,
We need to use it on Highway 515. That's there, I mean, it's out, people fly through there all the way through. Yeah, I think we can. Okay, so we need to do motions for the first part, the signs. Let's do it in two parts. Is that all right with you? The signs?
I make a motion, we allow them to, do the safety signs with DOT approval.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Thank you on that.
The second part, what do you call that?
Can you give me the
Tag reader?
sewer location quote on these
Price
properties?
on 3 cameras is
Huh?
21,620.
That's per.
You,
I only
I don't
want
have them, I
to do
don't know
one
what
right
they are.
now.
who has them?
Has anybody seen the demonstration of it?
I believe that the mayor was showing back, Harold, and you were, and I was going to.
I looked for about an hour, hour and a half with one of the officers and all like that. And the number of cars that it can detect just driving on the road. You pull into the parking lot and you just cruise the lot and it is scanning and checking
Where is she at?
every
Let's see,
tag
and
that
we
it's
have to
got.
call him.
Technology's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and just catching
Call
behind,
him
in
because
front,
he's on the road.
side. I mean, if I was doing this, I couldn't even see the number of cars that it takes. And the response is so quick.
Call him.
Plus, if you get this unit, they can sign up for, what's the other program, push you into
GCIC.
yeah, that you're really looking at,
Yeah, having it in the cars, because in the future, you can do that, and we can cut all costs on wrecks, all costs on tickets. We can do it right there in the car and it comes straight to Barbie. So we're looking to save $1,000 in the future just
Oh,
from
if
all
it's in
the
dial,
stuff that we ordered that you break from that. And that's
Yeah, but
I was
we
amazed
don't,
at
I mean, I don't
that
dial,
technology
they don't
and
even have water service out
fast
there.
response time.
It may be, if any,
A short time I was with the officer, they spotted,
they're
4,000
on
insurance.
a well.
Is the state staying on top of that, or are they behind on insurance lapses right now? They were for a while.
No, I'm gonna
Are
tell
they
you,
more up to date?
I'm gonna tell you something, and Where you stand here today,
But you're,
we stopped over 100 cars that we let go because of that fact. And we verified that they had, that they did have insurance.
There's a disconnect there, and has been for a
Yeah.
while, but it takes so many days for it to show back on.
But this right here, there's at least 100 more people. If they'd been, if it hadn't had, or been true that they did have it, we got a citation.
yeah, and the
What you
county
have to
doesn't
do, call
even
the
get.
offices of those places.
Verify their insurance.
So we are making
Why in
sure.
the world are they stopping me?
They were. That's true, that's what they were doing.
Well, the same thing with tags. I know the state was, the computer system was down for so many days with that, and they were showing some expired tags, so
Yeah.
maybe this is gonna make y'all work harder, because you're gonna have to verify everything.
We stay busy. We stay.
But you have to on
So
this
the-
anyway, because like I say, it's coming from like a privatized database. It's not
So
coming
then
from the
there's another
state.
delay in time, so it's not coming through the state. Okay.
The
Now,
GCI.
now, when we do the GCIC, it will be going out of state into another state.
So,
This pretty much just alerts them and then they can verify. through
Right.
the
Right,
GCI.
double check everything on that.
so you probably stopped 100 extra cars for insurance, and they actually did have insurance besides what you said. Okay. Same thing with tags? Did you
Oh,
have
yeah,
any extra?
yeah. But the thing, like Judge Sneed said, he said, I think you were standing there when Judge Sneed said that, like Toccoa, his court went up 400%. It got so big they had to,
Do two courts?
yeah, I mean, because of the
Divided or
traffic.
something?
And then you gotta look at the traffic, we got a lot of traffic up there. I mean, which I know you're aware of, so.
Okay, so,
Do we have the money to purchase
Well, that's.
we spent a lot of money today.
I know, but now here's you something, this here,
It's not budget.
the contract that these people have is that you pay like 10% down for 4 years. But I guarantee you, this thing will be paid for.
So is it a lease program?
Well, this is just a trial process right now, we're doing.
No, I mean, you said 10% down?
Yeah.
It's a payment plan?
Yeah,
Is it a lease that we're leasing it?
it will be through, these people, with these people here, this is how they've got their system set up. So it goes up. This is just one.
Did you show this to Alicia? You need to take that through her and see if we are actually, she may need to figure out how she can pay for it. Since it's not a lease, it would be a purchase and it's payments. She needs to figure out how that would come through the. So when's your 30 days up?
I think they give us an extension for a couple of weeks.
Okay. Get with her, let her, I mean, she needs to make sure, either she has to pay it up front or figure out she's gonna lease it or take it through our GMA.
Because actually Barbie will see come next month, this month's forward, next Monday, she will see that a lot of it's coming to our court next Monday.
Yeah, there's restrictions on how we borrow money though, so you need to make sure Alicia's okay with how we need to do that.
Then we can just put it on for.
Next Tuesday.
That's good, thank you.
Yeah, just get with her. Okay, planning commission appointment, Lee Bennett's term has expired November 2015, and we've had one person apply. I think you just got that today. I don't think many people knew that his term was expiring. I just found out the other day. So do we want to go ahead and look at the one person, or do we want to let the newspapers put it out there for us to let people come in? I'm sure.
Have we ever done it in a newspaper before?
I think they usually put it in their articles, because we've had people come in afterwards and say, you know, they were interested in applying. Donna Gay. Donna, are you gonna serve on the housing board and this board if you're chosen? Or are you coming off the housing authority board?
No, I would be on both.
Okay. We still need a library board person. We're still short there.
It's just so hard to get coordinated.
We probably should let, I mean, you know, just give people a fair chance to be on it. I've had several people mention it, but I don't think they knew. That's been a while back. But maybe and then we could vote next week possibly. That's it. Newspapers put it in. Yes.
It'll be out before the meeting next week, I don't think, so probably just need to, if anybody, y'all, let people know, and, you know, some
We need to check with Roy to see if, yeah, it's November.
Yeah, I think Roy said that we need to appoint him by November,
Okay.
so by next meeting, so whatever applications we can move in.
You know, Roy also has a little leaflet or something he can pull up to tell you what your duties are as a planning commissioner.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
if I could get something written, I can get that to production and can get in before we end our deadline this afternoon.
Okay.
So it could come out on Thursday.
We can do something. But I do know that there is some kind of, because I know we gave Thomas K one of those before Thomas went to his classes, so their job, their duties. So what everybody wants to do is table it till next week. If y'all want to make that in the form of a motion, so she'll know to put it back on there.
We'll make a motion, we'll table it till next week.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? We should have done that with Johnny's too. Will you remember to put Johnny's back on the agenda? Fannin County and Cities Joint Comprehensive Plan. Y'all all got a copy. It was several pages. I didn't bring mine in, I don't think, but we don't have to have it done in the next month or two, but it's something to be thinking about. There's a lot of things that can be added. They do this every 10 years, I believe. I think they update it every year, but there's a major 10-year plan that's out there. You do need to go through it. Anything you think of that might need to be done, or anything that needs to be looked at in the city, or you know, it's kind of hard to plan for the next 10 years when we can't plan for the next month sometimes, but it needs some thought process because things are going to change in the city of Blue Ridge. Take a look at some cities that you've seen out there that you think are doing the right thing and are doing some good things, and you know, kind of copy that. Go on the internet. We've got internet now, but it talks about where you'd like to add new water lines, sewer lines, where you'd like to, roads that you'd like to see. But it needs to be taken pretty seriously. It's a major part of what's going to happen for the city of Blue Ridge. So we'll probably keep bringing that up every couple of months just to see if somebody's got some thoughts or some ideals and some things we need to talk about before we finalize the plan, but we do have to get it in. And you cannot get grants without having a plan update. Am I correct? There's several things you have to get grants anymore, but that's one of them. All right, so let's say since we're going to have holidays, November and December, let's say we look at it again in January. Is that okay with everybody? Kelsey, you want to just put that on the agenda for January? Okay, approval to purchase a copier for City Hall. This was added by Barbie Gerald. I think they've got one that doesn't work very well and one that doesn't work at all. So they had 2 quotes. And where is Mark? You got this quote and one more, Barbie? Is there some from Cleveland Business? Which is the company? Okay.
Last page.
What is actually the Grant is actually here. You're kidding.
Over here.
Okay. I don't know much about copiers except that I can jam them up. And I'm really good at that. And most people just take it out of my hands and do it for me because they know I'll mess it up. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're proposing that they do? Because I think you've come and looked at the machines.
I have.
Okay.
I haven't touched them or anything, but, so Barbie contacted me last week and let me know about the copy over here. And then I was talking with Barbie English, and so I've kind of introduced two of them as opposed to just one. Currently, you guys are just doing black and white, and so I asked if you guys were, thinking about doing any color impressions from here on out. I know that they had told me that what you guys are currently doing is using a desktop printer to do any color copies that you guys have, which almost 100% of the time is not cost. Those little color cartridges, they get you coming and going with those. So I bid out a 40-page per minute black and white unit that will fax, scan, and copy, and it will do network. And everybody here, you can scan to either a file like you guys are doing now, or you can scan straight to email. And the scanner is in color, so even though it only copies and prints in black and white, the scanner is in color. So if you have a PDF file that's, one of the pie charts or whatever that's color sensitive, you can scan in color. And then I also did a 25-page per minute on the same quote that is a color unit. Now the color unit, you can manipulate the color, or you can control who has access and who does not have access to the color capabilities. So it can be a black and white default copier if this will let to go down for an hour or two, or anything like that. It's still going to be all networked into the same network. But those who need to have access to color have a 4-digit code that they can just go and copy the color. And we tied you with something called U.S. Community, since you guys are state and local government. The contract pricing for U.S. communities is considerably lower than any other contract out there. And I think you guys are currently paying like $0.015 to 2 pennies per black and white click. We've got you at, I think, 0.0064. So it's almost a half a penny, just barely over half a cent for black and white. I think it's 0.058 for a color clip, which you guys could conceivably be paying 25 to 35 cents per color clip using a desktop copy or a desktop. I didn't do a purchase price. I only did a 60-month lease price because that is the cheapest way to go, and it keeps you guys tied to the U.S. community, so your click rates are the cheapest that they can be. I just spoke with my office though, and they did say that you can do either a dollar buyout lease, which is after, once the lease is mature, you guys pay $1, it's yours. Most people kind of shy away from those because technology, within 60 months is going to be far superior to what it is now. So there's just going to be things that it can do. The ones that you currently have don't do.
To have the buyout lease, is that changing the monthly fee?
It would, and it would go up. It would go up a little bit. And you can also buy it outright. So you can just buy the MFP brand new for X amount of dollars, which I think the black and white was like $5,500, $54 and some change. And then the other one was $4,000 and something. I
Just under 10,000. Or right at 10,000 actually.
Did you say this included maintenance?
I think it's maintenance and toner. And then when you do the U.S. community, since you guys are tied into that, there's no setup fee, there's no network fee. There's none of those fees that normally occur on just a typical contract. I think it's $350 for the black and white and $250 for the smaller color to have them set up and hooked up. And there's also training that comes with the U.S. community that is not with, say, just a purchase price.
Okay. Rodney and I both got a shock today. They do about 7,500 a month. We thought it was a year. So we were gonna try to make them share one copier, and we decided that they probably do need 2 copiers if they're doing that much or not. So I was real surprised, had no idea. So they really do work. But I think I get 4,000 of those pages a month myself. Anybody know anything about copiers?
It looks like it's about, for 5 years, $13,793 would be what we'd be paying. That's just the lease price. That's around $3,000. That would be contract your service.
Your service, your toner.
Initially it seemed like a lot to me, but.
I know my toners are about $150 to $200. My machine will barely this big. How much are those toners?
I think they've come down a little bit, but they are not cheap.
I actually leased, well, I was going to lease one through, business machines, but I ended up purchasing, I think it was supposed to $5,000. But what they do is charge me per month, they still service it for me, anytime I'm getting low on my ink, they send it to me and they charge me per month, like per copy. But I own it, so I don't have to, it's not a lease, I just. Yeah, and I like that because I, pay my money down, but if I need them, they're there for me.
Well, we do that.
Yeah.
We do the same either. If you would look at your.
There's a difference with them too.
This is one machine.
That's just one machine.
This is just to replace that one over there.
How much